Hey everybody, welcome to Music and Mental Health. I have not been on this channel in so long. Uh, excuse me. Excuse me. This channel is parked, for lack of a better term. You know, like basically what happened with this channel is, wow, is this Target closed? No, they must be renovating. There's no way they would close this Target. Anyways, um, yeah, so the reason why I didn't use this page for so long is because there was a day and time before they had something called YouTube Shorts. Y'all know by now what YouTube Shorts are because they've been around for a while, and it's basically like YouTube's version of Reels or Snapchat, all that kind of good stuff, right? So when YouTube Shorts came around, I started looking at the other channels that were successful and seeing what ways that they became successful, whatever, or how their channels were growing. And one thing that everyone was saying was like, you got to utilize YouTube Shorts. Hi, Shanna. You got to utilize YouTube Shorts because YouTube Shorts are much more in circulation than doing videos like this. They call these videos, I learned, they call these types of videos that I'm making long form content. I didn't even know that was a thing until a few years ago because everyone's content used to be long form. We didn't have these short 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute video things that people could just scroll through 100 of them in 10 minutes. It was just like everybody's videos were long and informative, and that's how I even started as a content creator because I'm like, great, I have a place to go where I can share all these long thoughts that I have because that's the way that my brain works. My brain has a lot of deep things that I think about that take a lot of time to get out, and people enjoy listening to me for that. So, but I also wanted to make money off of my platform, so I was like, what do people put in these shorts? So what I was seeing was they put a combination of maybe like real type stuff where they have a 30-second thought, record it and put it on the short. But then they also had people also would take like celebrity news or like sports highlights or whatever it is, and they would put those into the short. But the thing was, I was looking at it and I was thinking, oh, okay, I know that in my regular long videos, I'm not allowed to post copyright protection, but I guess in the shorts they don't have the same requirements. So I started reposting different things into my shorts, into my YouTube shorts, and then one day they just hit me with they demonetized the channel because they said I was using content that I didn't create. So then I said, well, I have two monetized channels, so I'm just gonna transfer over to the other channel because I can't get paid when I'm on this channel. But the issue is that channel was only for reality TV, and my main thing that I always wanted to talk about is mental health, and that was my long intro to this. I hope I can even remember what I jumped on here to say, but that's my reason. That was my reason for jumping on here today because I've long been thinking about reviving this channel, even if I don't end up figuring out how to monetize it or find my audience or whatever. I still want to have a channel that I talk about mental health. I like listening to your thoughts on things. Thank you. I appreciate that, Shanna. So what I had on my mind today, one of the hardest things for me to deal with in life is that So much of life is dependent on people's perception. I was about to say perspection, and I'm like, that's not a word. Sorry, people's perception. So I'll give you an example. Everybody has their view on the world that they have growing up. Not just a view on the world, but a view on events that happened when you were growing up. For example, in my example, I'm going to use family events, right? So in my upbringing, there was good things that happened to me, there was bad things that happened to me, there's everything in between. And I can admit, right, just because something happened and I felt like it was bad does not mean that my account of it is just all encompassing and it couldn't be incorrect in any kind of a way, right? Like, but the thing about life is that sometimes people forget things that they do wrong. And I don't mean forget details, I'm okay. Oh, man. Sorry about that. I done spilled my drink because of this guy zooming in front of me. I mean, okay. But let me regather that thought. Come back to me, Mark. It didn't leave me. I'm just gathering my thought back because that upset me. Okay. Let's say you and a family member had a rough time together growing up, and that person caused you harm emotionally, things they said, incidents that happened, or whatever. And then you get to a point where you are an adult. You have the conversation with them. Such and such happened. You did this. You said that, and it harmed me. Whether that was your intent or whether you thought about that or whatever, it happened, and this is the damage that it caused. This is the type of person I am. I'm a very forgiving person. I've learned that, but it's much harder for me to forgive without any acknowledgement. And there's so many people in this world that will do bad things and never admit to it. And that burns me. I'll give you an example, right? Because this is a safe example. The reason I consider it a safe example is that I don't care if the person who this example is about sees this video, because I've said it on this channel before. Me and another person, we're friends. We were friends. We met probably 2013, 2014, and we're friends up until maybe 2 years ago. It's probably like a 10 to 11 year friendship. Um, During this friendship, this person developed an illness, right? And I wish them well because it's still an ongoing thing that they have to deal with, and chronic illnesses are tough. My dad had one. My dad developed one. Other family and friends. I thankfully, knock on wood, to this point in my life, have not. But I definitely recognize that it's a lot to go through. And in fact, I have another friend who has a similar illness as them, and they talk to me about it, and I know that it's rough. I get that. So when this illness first developed, this friend was asking me, okay, but it takes some time to get Okay, sorry about that. Hopefully we're back in business. Oh, I should have you as a mod, Shanna. Add as a mod. As a moderator. A moderator. Okay. Okay. So as I was saying, um, a bad area like reception wise, I guess. So it's cutting in and out. I'm sorry. Apparently, this area seems to be um, a whole dead zone or something. But yeah, and it's getting in the way of me getting my story out. Anyways, I didn't think I was committing to doing these things for this person once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. In my head, the question was just like, I'm going to need some assistance, and like for me,